You may have heard that French, the study of the French language, will be cut out of the Skyline curriculum.
The French program here at Skyline has been taught for over 30 years, teaching a language that is spoken in 84 countries and by 220 million people worldwide.
Here in the French program, we just don't learn about language with French. We also learn about history.
In French class, we learn about Renaissance artists, and we learn about the origin of the croissant and about African dance to French literature.
It's a really great experience. It's one of my favorite classes.
Students join the French program for a number of reasons. They might want to become exchange students in a French-speaking country, relatives of theirs speak French, or simply because it's one of the Romance languages. It's beautiful.
A lot of us are already bilingual, and by learning French, we become trilingual, and there's a lot of more opportunities out there for us that we could take advantage of, being able to speak more than one language.
We should keep the French program because it's a key to opening new doors to figuring out a new language and the cultures behind it. And it's a language that's not spoken rarely in the United States, like Spanish or Mandarin, and it's a useful tool to have with you during your life.
French opens up doors that no one should want to close.
When I went to school, there were quite a few other languages offered, and I think most people realized that was an opportunity to go in a direction that they felt drawn to, rather than the value of studying a language which is extremely prevalent in the world, the utilitarian approach, I suppose. But anyway, I think it would be a shame and a real loss to lose the opportunity to study that particular language, to get immersed in that particular culture, which has influenced an awful lot of the history of the world, an awful lot of the history of the United States. So that's what I'm trying to encourage you to do, to keep the program alive. Even if there are fewer people that are interested in it, I think it's still worth the effort.
I want to try to state that it is very important to have more than one language offered in any of the school districts. I think that French is particularly important because for many years, French has been the international language. But secondly, there are certain areas of the world where French is the dominant language, such as North Africa and parts of Africa, which are developing nations, as well as Quebec and other parts of Asia where people do speak French still. And I think that it's important to have a choice for students in order to allow them the ability to be attracted to a language that fits them, that they feel is a comfortable fit for them. I am shocked to hear that the public school district is eliminating French and any other language from its curriculum. It is undemocratic not to have a choice in what language you want to learn. It is incredible that a school district would force students to learn a particular language that they may not be interested in or they may not have an affinity for. And I would like to press upon whatever decision makers there are to allow the school districts to offer more than one language for the student population.
I would urge the responsible persons at the district office to reconsider their decision to discontinue the French language, and perhaps next year our students could still benefit from the study of that language.
Give the Oakland students that same chance. It's a tragedy what we're doing to our schools, and it's a true tragedy when we take away something that opens people's hearts.
Right now we're in Mr. Drovin's French 2 class, where the students are doing an activity based on the film Indochine, where the students are imagining being in the place of Camille, Hélène, and Jean-Baptiste. And let's get started. So, Eduardo, what character are you playing?
I am Jean-Baptiste.
Would you like to do your activity for us?
All right. And you're Camille?
Yep.
And that's Hélène.
Où vas-tu?
Je vais pour le monde.
Pourquoi?
Parce que je suis un officier de marine.
Mais je t'aime.
Je m'en fiche. Laisse-moi. Vas-y. Êtes-vous, mademoiselle?
It's like saying.
Je m'en fiche.
Tu vas me faire pleurer.
So what character are you playing?
I am playing Elaine.
Okay. And what are you?
I am Camille.
I am John Baptiste.
And what are you guys doing?
We're just making a scene about Camille telling Ellen that she fallen for John Baptiste, and John Baptiste is gonna walk in and get angry. Okay.
So explain what you've come up with so far.
We're making up a scene where I slap him and then he slaps me back, and we're just talking, and Camille runs to him instead of her mother. And so yeah.
Okay, good job. So describe the roles of the characters from the movie.
Well, the movie Indochine is about a young Vietnamese princess, Camille, who's adopted by a rich rubber plantation owner named Elaine. And maybe 10 years later, so now Camille is 13 and her mother is maybe 40, her adopted mother. Elaine goes off and meets John Baptiste, who is a Marine with the French Navy, who's currently patrolling the Vietnamese area. Elaine and John Baptiste, well, Elaine falls in love with John Baptiste, but he doesn't feel the same way. And after they have a short affair, Camille finds herself falling in love with John Baptiste. Elaine is not happy with this and tries to get Jean Baptiste deported. That's all we've watched so far.
Now that we're finished with the first activity, we're going to go around the room and examine the posters. We get to learn about the French-speaking countries all over the world, including Indochina, Africa, the Caribbean, Quebec, and South America, among many other countries. A well-known famous landmark in Paris, France, is the Eiffel Tower. This poster shows a list of the French-speaking countries in the world. For example, La France, obviously, La Belgique, Madagascar, La Guadeloupe, La Martinique, le Vietnam, le Cambodge, and many other countries. Here are some excerpts from French magazines, including famous French writers, poets, and even a rapper from Senegal, among French pop culture. Here's a poster showing the number of kisses expected in greeting for all the different regions of France. Here's some examples of some posters that students in the French class have done, showcasing each of the regions of France. Here are some magazine articles about soccer, a very popular sport in France, showing a famous athlete from France, Zidane. Those are just some of the many things you will hear and learn during your time in this French program. This is what will happen if the Oakland Unified School District cuts the French program.